today we're going to be building the best air defense system with Minecraft Crate mod, because as you can see, I am being chased by airborne enemies as we speak. Quite literally drones trying to blow me up. I probably shouldn't go by the helicopter. This is not good. If I could just get to the tower, I might be able to shoot them down. Okay, I cannot actually shoot them down. Oh no! Yeah, so just a couple flying things can destroy my entire military base. This is why we need air defense when there is an army of robots on the way. I am not even safe in here. But how am I supposed to get these drones? It's also getting really dark. I don't really want to be hunting drones in the dark. The main focus today is going to be finishing the military base and, importantly, equipping it with air defense. As you saw, you can get annihilated by a very small number of airborne enemies when they're dropping bombs on you and all that kind of stuff. We are also going to be building multiple Humvees and probably another tank, which requires a significant amount of steel. And I know that Warium has its own steel system, which I will look into because I'm hoping it can be automated, whereas it's very difficult to automate the TPMG steel. That's because we're on an old version of that mod, and I can't update that mod because I can't upgrade to Crate 0.6. And the reason we can't do that is specifically because of Clockwork/Valkyrian Skies. There's a ton of updates that I can't do until that is available, and that is one of them. I will say though, I did upgrade the Forge version, which allowed me to upgrade a couple mods and add one or two mods that I hadn't been able to. And one of the mods I was able to update was Crate Stuff and Additions, which is the mod that adds our jetpack and the mining drill. And I noticed we got a netherite jetpack now, but we also got a creative filling tank. And it's funny, last time I was literally saying, oh, if only there was a way to just have it be like infinite refilling of fuel for the mining drill, because it's really, really annoying having to go back and forth to the nether to just pick up lava all the time. And would you look at that, there's a creative fueling tank, and I have taken it upon myself to add a recipe for it. I also added a recipe for the creative gravitron because there's lots of times where you just kind of have to move physics entities even if they're big. So we got those recipes. I do want to make the netherite jetpack though. Another thing you might have noticed was I got absolutely shredded myself, despite my armor, by those flying helicopter things and their bullets. So I have no netherite, unfortunately. So we're gonna go to the nether and try to grab some. It's kind of tempting if I could make some like the high explosive shells make a big explosion, but gun cotton, I don't know how much gun cotton I have. Oh wait, I did have gun cotton already. I knew I'd made some of this a while ago. So I used that existing gun cotton to make a stack of high explosive shells. We're going to be using these as improvised mining charges because I think against netherrack they will do a ton of damage. You kind of need to either use an explosion to activate them or redstone, and I don't want to stand right next to them and push a button. So I thought that it might be nice to get an RPG, which would help against flying targets as well, if I'm in the area. RPGs are not that hard to make, actually. And there we go. I got an RPG, but I don't have any ammo for it. The ammo is the more expensive part. You can craft it using the crate sequence, but we don't have that set up yet, so we are just going to have to build it this way, which is probably more expensive. You can use this ammo assembly table. Here's the RPG. Make as much of this as we can. Let's see how much damage this does. Well, that's pretty good. This thing normally doesn't do much damage, but I really care about the high explosive shell. So first let us go down to the normal level that we would do this. Uh-oh. Okay, maybe not there. Oh, look at that. So when we get a little bit of ways, I have no idea what this is gonna do. Let's go in this direction. I'm just gonna put a shell here and I'm gonna shoot this. Oh my. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That is a big explosion. Look at that. We exposed 2 things of netherite. Hey, maybe we'll be making those creative items. Maybe we'll make those today after all. Okay, so I already have 4. That's enough for the jetpack. Now there we go, there's our last deep slate. Not deep slate, ancient debris. I just am gonna get 20 so that I can make the jetpack, and then I would have enough for one of those creative things. Okay, so I have 4 wither skulls, so we can easily spawn the wither. And I guess I can get another star, and we're gonna make the creative filling tank so that I don't have to go to the nether anymore and right click on lava. So we got 5 netherite ingots. So to make this netherite jetpack, I just need a fluid tank as well. Oh good, and I get to keep my enchantment as well. Nice. Alright. Netherite jetpack. Why do I have like a big thing? That looks weird. Got like a big muff now. I don't know that I can go. Can I go any higher with it? No, it's not really performance difference, but it's full armor. This thing does a lot of damage, guys. Yeah, Taxi is a little overpowered. So I already have Wonderlight Matrixes. Okay. Alright, that's just Wonderlight Crystals. I already got that's the gravity ore. So I should be able to make this now. I should be able to just... Cool. There we go. So bad news, the Warium steel is actually worse than the TFMG steel. Just because you can only make it from iron dust, which only comes from raw iron. And raw iron, you can't automate it. So we might not be getting to those vehicles today after all. We need air defense, and as I mentioned, we have multiple options. The first being a rocket launcher, used by me. This is not ideal because it requires me to actually be good enough at aiming to hit things, and for them to be conveniently standing still like that drone is right there. But if it is standing still, it's not too hard to hit. But that's no good if there's more than one of them and it's not standing still and they're already attacking you and you're not shooting them from like 200 blocks away. And this is where radars come in, because radars can be used to detect entities and they can be used to automatically target big cannons weapons at those entities. And I actually happen to already have made a radar installation design. This is my little radar installation, the small version of it, and we've got multiple of these positioned around the colony. We are definitely going to have a radar installation right here, and we are going to have another one positioned over there. That way we cover easily the entire center area plus a pretty big area on either side. But this radar is actually not very good. It's kind of short. It actually needs to be higher up for the airborne stuff. I know that sounds dumb. I mean, that's not how radar works in real life. But the actual mechanics of this thing, it kind of needs to be closer to the level at which it's supposed to be detecting stuff. But lucky me, I actually made a tall version of this when I first designed it, and I just haven't used it. But now we get an excuse to use it. I don't even really remember what it looks like, other than that it's the same kind of radar design. Yep, just on top of scaffolding. So that's the first radar, and it's a search radar. So that blue dot is me. You can literally see it moving. Before us are 2 different types of weapons that we could connect to the radar. On the one hand, we have a normal cannon that can shoot shells that use a guided fuse, which is linked to a monitor, where you can actually select the target that you want on the monitor, and then believe it or not, that shell will act like a missile all by itself and go after that entity. The other option is a rotary cannon, which is pretty similar to the Phalanx Close-In Weapons System, where it just shoots a lot of bullets, hopefully in the direction of the target. For example, let's say there's a big robot right here, like this guy. This red dot here is that big enemy, so... Oh! And see, it literally just came back. It eventually realizes, oh, I'm supposed to track this specific entity, and then it just turns around, does a U-turn, and comes back. And it kind of works against flying things as well. Oh, see, here it comes. See, it's trying to follow it. Eventually, it loses track of it, though, and just goes off in a random direction. So, you can see that the improvised missile system is unable to hit these kinds of things very well. If you've got the rotary cannon, it can respond much faster to something like this. I did not mean to spawn that. But the rotary cannon is also equally ineffective at targeting the flying thing because it actually is unable to point itself at the flying thing fast enough. But if you do that, it absolutely annihilates it, and then proceeds to waste like 100 more bullets. But still, it works great. This thing is also perfectly capable of shooting down flying targets if they're not moving quickly, like these things are hovering and moving slowly. For example, there's one down. Well, somewhat capable. It has its problems. I even tried building a static radar pointed in one direction permanently to see if it'd be able to update the rotary cannon better or faster, but it had no effect on it for some reason. Also, why is it just incapable of hitting those? Come on. Sbeev with an RPG might remain undefeated. And a Phantom. Maybe the real air defense is just me. Interesting. Perhaps the double autocannon is more effective than the rotary cannon for some reason. In terms of automatic firepower, I'd say the twin autocannon is better than the rotary cannon, partially just because of how much less ammo it uses. It also seems to be able to actually hit things better, which I find interesting. But all hope is not lost for the rotary cannon, because I can think of one other use where it might be great, actually. The use would be player-operated rotary cannons. Instead of the radar doing the job, I can do the job here myself, and then it's just however good at aiming I am. This is quite difficult though, and it's hard to tell where it's pointing at, although there is a trick that you can do to fix that. Oof. That was still pretty bad, guys. At least it's possible to shoot them down. Honestly, part of it might be the ammo that I'm using. Here is a fun trick to make it a lot easier to hit your target. It's possible to use a beacon as a big laser pointer on a physics entity like this. That definitely helps, and obviously you can shoot along it. Oh, that might have been one hit. Using that laser pointer, it's possible to hit this stuff without being lined up yourself with the gun. And using the high explosive autocannon shells, it's actually, well, it seems to take only one hit to kill it. Oh, it's so much easier now. Who needs radar when you have infinite high explosive autocannon bullets and a player controlled phalanx? So guys, I think the plan is to build a Phalanx Sea-Wiz and just have it be player operated. I even just figured out you can auto-load it just fine by having it like this. You know, normally this would be all the fire control, the electronics, the radar would be in the dome thing up there. But since we don't need any of that, since it's being operated by me, I'm gonna put the loading up there. Normally the ammo drum would be down there, but we're gonna have the beacon down there instead, or somewhere nearby so that it's in line. So I guess now I'm just gonna try to make this look good. This is the pinnacle of Create Mod player-operated anti-air systems. And I also added this huge area of hoppers and this like little thing on the back that stops about 80 to 90% of the shells as they're getting flung out of the back of the gun. And so we get to collect them. But now we're going to go over one other air defense system, which is not crate mod, in fact. We are going to be heading over to the Warium mod because Warium has lots and lots of munitions. One of them is a great air defense munition, the Ordnance IR Seeker. This thing, when you build it into a rocket and shoot it, will look for sources of heat, which is mostly set up to work with the Warium mod. Think things like jet engines, for example. We just need an ordnance core and an ordnance thruster because it's a rocket. And all you have to do is just build it like this. You can also build it lying down. And there it goes. It's actually... it might be tracking something. It actually found something all by itself. I didn't even mean for it to do that. As far as I know, this thing is still player operated in that you kind of have to like give it the redstone signal yourself to launch when it sees something. You guys will have to let me know if Warium has a feature for auto launching this stuff when it detects something, because I know there is a radar from Valkyrian Warium, but I don't know how it works. But this thing is quite forgiving. Like, let's summon one of these. And it just blew it up. Now, it's not always a one-hit kill, so that is the best way and the easiest way of blowing up those flying drones. It's not good against things that don't have any kind of heat, since it's specifically a heat-seeking thing. I just have to build another mount like this, with the actual weapon emplacement being a lot simpler, since you can't really... there's some glitches where you can't really automate the placing of these things very well on physics entities, so they're just going to have to be manually placed. Oh, look who it is. Can you go get him, please? Nice. This doesn't need a laser pointer because these are tracking. All you need to do is point it in the general direction and shoot your missiles. And you'll probably blow something up. Let's try to do that right now. Never mind, we got it. That was pretty easy. So the plan is to put one radar-guided autocannon right here, because this can cover basically the entire military base, the airspace, and some of the space around here. I'm going to collect these materials and try to cast double twin versions of these. They seem to have casting molds, so we're going to see if the recipes are good to go. Looks like it is working, so we are going to be able to use this. There's our twin autocannon. Oh nice, it's already linked to my machine gun bullets. See, it's bringing in machine gun ammo. Should be loading it with machine gun ammo. I just have to weld this together. So I added a control panel here so that you can actually activate it from here. Like, I can click and then whatever's over there is eventually gonna get caught. There we go. I want to add tracers to these machine gun bullets because you can't see them when they're being shot very well. They look way better with tracers. It's actually really easy to do that because tracers are inexpensive. Tracers just take one glowstone and one blaze powder, and I have infinite amounts of blaze powder from my blaze farm under my house, and I automated glowstone a while ago. I'm going to set up another production line right here where I can make autocannon shells, not just machine gun bullets, which are just also autocannon ammo. But since we want to make the Phalanx, we need to have the high explosive autocannon stuff, so that's not the machine gun bullets. So what's the production look like for this? So we make filled autocannon cartridges, and then we apply the round to it, whatever round we're using. So 6 presses and a cartridge sheet. I've left room here for an extra deployer for the actual round, and then also one for the tracer, and one for a fuse. Because these ones, if they're explosive, they need fuses, like the impact fuse. Now, I don't have the ability, I can't like hook any of those things up to this right now. So all it's doing is it's filling autocannon cartridges. If you take a look down here at my setup for the blaze farm that's under my floor, which we can't see because there's no blazes right now, but I just modified it so that it can pull in blaze powder in here into my ME network, because the ME network already contains glowstone. So I figured I'd just integrate blaze powder, and then I'd handle the crafting of tracers within the network So I've got tracers being manufactured by Miami System, and I've also got impact fuses being manufactured by it. I've got a transmitter over here. I guess I just need some composters real fast. The tracers are going to go here eventually, and they're currently going here to the machine gun side because the machine guns are already ready to be equipped. But I have 14,800 of these things that don't have tracers. We're going to loop the existing ones back in, and we're going to fill them up with the tracers. Since other than missiles, this is our best air defense method, we need it to be higher than at least everything else around it. Otherwise, it does no good. So I'm going to put it up here. We are going to build something around it that's connected to the building that we're going to be building next. Oh, that's right. I forgot a beacon, and I only have one wither skull. Okay. Off to the nether we go. That's a real expensive 12 stacks of autocannon bullets, but it's going to come in handy. We're going to need it. This empty spot is where I'm going to put the control command central building for the military base. So that I can connect that up, I can add the second radar, which will actually cover down here, unlike that radar. I know it's kind of silly. And we can have the proper radar control area. And something else, we're going to have a little bit of an elevator right here, a vehicle-sized elevator that can go underground for reasons. It's nice knowing that we have a variety of functional air defenses now, and automated defenses against any robots or anything that might invade us, and a nice elevator shaft as well. It's well, it's a little unclear where it goes right now, but I think we're gonna have to wait and find out more about this a little bit later. Next time, we're probably gonna be addressing the military vehicle thing, because we tried to look into getting steel today, ended up not being any better than I was hoping with the Warium thing. But we'll have to figure something out, because we need more military vehicles. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button down below. I've been Sbeev. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.